stand and speak and vote your conscience. Vote for.
From fierce competitor to not quite friend, Senator Ted Cruz on stage at Donald Trump's convention. Long lines, short tempers, the status on Southwest after hours of grounded flights. A wild scene at another airport, this time a police chase that ended at DFW. And another blow for a family just barely getting by.
Just like a hole in your heart.
First losing their daughter and then her last pictures.
Live from Victory Park, this is News 8 at 10.
To fight for freedom, to protect our God-given rights, even of those with whom we don't agree.
Do you hear that? Ted Cruz's speech, especially in that moment, notable, not for what he said, but for the crowd's reaction, booing him off the stage. Ted Cruz did not endorse Donald Trump.
And the nasty fight we saw during the primary was echoed again tonight at the Republican convention. Our Jason Whiteley is live at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland tonight.
So, Jason, we wondered if Ted Cruz was going to endorse Trump. Looks like we now have our answer.
We certainly do, John and Cynthia. You know, right now there is a lot of energy and excitement after the vice presidential candidate, rather, for the Republican Party just walked off the stage. But it was another tense, unusual night here at the Republican National Convention. Division on display again. As you said, Ted Cruz not endorsing Donald Trump. Then about a half hour after he left stage, Newt Gingrich gets up there and uses the words the senator would not in backing Donald Trump. It was a bizarre day for Ted Cruz. We spent part of it with him. Take a look at how it unfolded.
Please welcome United States Senator Ted Cruz of Texas.
All along, insiders suggested an endorsement was doubtful.
I want to congratulate Donald Trump on winning the nomination last night.
Republican leaders have urged unity all week, a word Cruz mentioned.
Don't stay home in November.
But in his 22 minutes in prime time, he gave no outright support for the Republican nominee.
He had more applause lines than anybody else this entire week. It's just unfortunate that some of the delegation thought he should do something different.
We love Ted! We love Ted! We love Ted!
Hours earlier, we watched an unscripted moment.
This afternoon is really for one very simple purpose, and it is to say thank you.
As Cruz rallied with delegates downtown.
Our party now has a nominee.
Donald Trump 757 buzzed by at the moment Cruz mentioned him.
That was pretty well orchestrated.
But supporters looking for hints at his future didn't get much detail.
Do you expect the senator to run again in 4 years or 8 years?
I absolutely expect him to run. This isn't it for Ted Cruz. He's young. He's only 45. He just turned 45 in December.
Donald Trump entered the arena for the end of Cruz's speech.
We will unite the party. We will unite the country by standing together for shared values, by standing for liberty. God bless each and every one of you.
Any goodwill the senator might have established faded. Booed off stage for not saying the words his party wanted to hear. And it is worth noting tonight that Ted Cruz only mentioned Donald Trump's name one time in his 22 minutes, but he used Obama's name and Clinton's name, both of those, 3 times each. In the coming days, we're going to get a better idea whether this speech tonight here in Cleveland might have inflicted any kind of long-term damage to Cruz's political prospects, because if he is to run in 2020 or 2024 perhaps, he will certainly need the support of people in this room. Reporting live in Cleveland, Jason Whiteley, Channel 8 News.
And Jason, we're getting reports of more chaos at the convention. CNN reports a state-level official got in Cruz's face backstage. They also report Heidi Cruz had to be escorted out of the arena for safety. All that may have overshadowed the headline speaker, Trump's running mate, Indiana Governor Mike Pence.
He's a man known for a large personality, a colorful style, and lots of charisma, and so I guess he was just looking for some balance on the ticket.
The crowd cheered wildly for Pence, especially on those lines referencing Donald Trump.
A melee outside the convention today where a flag burning got a bit out of control. A man's pants caught fire. He became defensive when a police officer tried to douse that blaze. The man thought the fire extinguisher was pepper spray, and as you can see, things escalated from there. 17 people wound up in handcuffs. 2 officers were injured in that chaos.
Today, a speechwriter took the fall for remarks by Melania Trump that closely resembled a speech made by Michelle Obama in 2008. Meredith McIver offered to resign, but Donald Trump wouldn't accept it. McIver said that over the phone. Melania Trump read her some passages from Mrs. Obama's speech as examples, and those phrases ultimately became the final speech. Tomorrow is the biggest night of the convention leading up to Donald Trump's moment in the spotlight, and the primetime speaker list includes Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin, RNC Chair Reince Priebus, and Jerry Falwell Jr., president of Liberty University in Virginia. News 8's Jason Whiteley will be there for every moment. Follow him on Twitter for real-time news from the convention floor. His handle is @JasonWhiteley.
All right, developing news right now out of Love Field and really just about anywhere Southwest Airlines flies. The airline trying to untangle its schedule after a software glitch forced the company-wide ground stop today. Marie Saavedra tonight live at Southwest home base, Love Field. So Marie, not a pretty picture for travelers tonight.
Not at all, John, and it hasn't gotten any better this evening. This line has been long the entire night, but it actually got longer with more frustrated passengers in just the last hour. Many of these people waiting in this very long line to get to the front of the counter to try to rebook their flight, but everybody here already should have been on their plane. The joy of arriving at Love Field for a trip was quickly dashed Wednesday with one look at this line.
I actually did not know about it until we just rolled up in, we checked in, and so it just told us it's been canceled, and we're actually just going to get in the line and see where we're going to go or what's going to happen for tomorrow.
Jose Avalar is one of hundreds of confused and frustrated Southwest passengers in the line to rebook that just keeps growing. His flight to Las Vegas was one of 17 canceled and more than 600 delayed by the airline. That's according to FlightAware.com. It's all due to technology outages that took down Southwest systems for several hours. The airline tweeted just before 2 p.m. that they were investigating issues with their systems and they'd keep followers posted. 2 hours later, it seemed the initial problem was fixed, but as the night went on, systems stayed slow and the ripple effect of delayed flights spread across the country. Shamisha Lewis drove in from Texarkana to fly to her class reunion and hopes she doesn't have to drive back.
Since the reunion starts tomorrow, I'm hoping I can get out of here tonight. Hopefully.
That may be wishful thinking. Love Field CEO Mark Dubner says he expects many will be here overnight, tweeting will be a busy morning Thursday, asking people to plan for extra time, something these passengers have nothing but. Southwest tweeted just over an hour ago that it is still waiting for its systems to fully come back on, and we've seen evidence of that tonight. The first gentleman we spoke with, we saw him seconds ago come by. We asked him what the folks at the front counter told him here at Southwest, and they said that at this point they didn't have anything to tell him. They needed him to just go home, call every 2 hours, even come back here to Love Field tomorrow morning to, quote, try again. It seems like this is not a problem that's going to be fixed anytime soon, so no doubt these people here in line may be here for a good chunk of the night. Reporting live at Love Field, Marie Saavedra, Channel 8 News.
All right, Marie. The Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick calls it a victory for student safety. The transgender policy that fueled protests in Fort Worth is no more. After a series of community forums, Fort Worth Public Schools will now consider the needs of transgender students on a case-by-case basis to create individual support plans. It's a new policy. Critics of the old one worry that boys would be free to use girls' restrooms. Here's what Superintendent Kent Scribner told us.
The female students were okay with that. That is a possibility in the stall. But if the students were not, then that biological male-born student would go either to the nurse's office or go to the girls' room when no one was in there.
And Scribner went on to say that the biggest change is the inclusion of parents in every part of the decision-making process.
Tomorrow, we are likely to see our first 100-degree day of the summer. Dangerous heat that the Thedford family knows all too well. News 8's Jobin Paniker talked to a mother about the baby she lost a month ago this week.
The Thedford home is mostly packed. Some moving boxes, what's left of a birthday party. But here,
It's what you don't see.
So it actually took me a moment before I realized it, and then my heart just stopped.
Empty shelves that once held laptops and a camera, all gone. She says stolen. In most cases, why bother about things that can be replaced? Until you hear this.
Because they were the last pictures of her before she died.
Fern was 6 months old. In late June, police tell us she was left in the hot van in front of the home in Melissa. Jenny's husband, Michael, was arrested, faces manslaughter charges. She says it was an accident.
One change in routine.
She says her 6-month-old normally goes to daycare. She didn't that day because she was sick.
For the rest of her life, we'll be spending it going, what would she be doing if she was with us?
And that's why these pictures on that camera matter. It had their 3-year-old's birthday on it. Also, the most recent pictures of Fern.
And when we came back, there was just stuff all over the floor.
In the process of moving, this mother is begging for thieves to return the memory card with those pictures. It's all she's asking for because she says it's one of the few things she had left.
You know, it's just like a hole in your heart.
Jobin Paniker, Channel 8 News.
The Thetfords have 2 other children. Michael Thetford faces manslaughter charges and has bonded out of jail.
Well, it is the toughest blow yet to Texas voter ID law, a measure considered the strictest in the country. A federal appeals court is ordering changes after a ruling in which judges struck down the law, calling it discriminatory against minorities. It requires voters to show a government-issued photo ID before casting a ballot. Experts believe that fight will end up before the Supreme Court. In a statement, Governor Abbott said, "As Attorney General, I prosecuted cases against voter fraud across Texas and will continue to make sure there is no illegal voting at the ballot box."
Goodbye Valley Ranch. Dallas Cowboys employees are moving out of their old headquarters and into the new Star facility in Frisco. Cowboys will start practicing there after they return from training camp in late August.
A woman is in custody tonight after leading police on a chase that wound around part of DFW Airport. Eventually, it ended on the airport's south side. Started as a traffic stop by airport DPS officers. They say the woman took off, stopping right by the tower. She held police at bay for an hour before driving away again, and then she stopped on South Airfield Drive, where she was finally apprehended.
Next at 10, the return to El Centro. Tomorrow, a pivotal day in recovery. And thousands of thank yous. North Texas backs the blue in a big way. Plus, these guys go outside to cool off. We're on the job in 145-degree heat.
Well, it was a hot one today. We hit 97 degrees, even hotter temperatures in the forecast. First triple digits of the season. I'll talk about the high temperatures, a chance of rain, the weekend forecast, all coming up.
Tomorrow, El Centro College will welcome back students for the first time since an ambush on police. Faculty and staff return today, but you can see there's still some serious damage. A gunman firing on police was killed here after a standoff with the SWAT team on July 7th. 5 police officers were killed just outside El Centro. And today, for the first time in nearly 2 weeks, DPD headquarters was not a gathering place for mourners. A memorial was packed up last night. All of the tributes you see here will be archived. News 8's Todd Unger joins us live now. And Todd, even though this memorial is gone, gestures to thank police are still going strong.
Yeah, still a lot of tributes across North Texas. You know, we've seen signs, a lot of ribbons, even some blue light bulbs. Here in Fort Worth, what's really catching on, these police appreciation cards, a small gesture that represents a heck of a lot of goodwill.
Hi, you have a pickup, sir?
Lee's Walk on Rosedale is a popular spot. But it isn't the food that customers are noticing Wednesday night.
At first, they don't know what it is, and then they ask us.
On the front, a blue line striped through an American flag. On the back,
thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. We are appreciative.
A simple police appreciation card.
Every day we have a police officer come in here. They're very happy, and then sometimes on top of that, people also pay for their meal.
The cards are getting attention all over Cowtown, thousands now in circulation.
It was an angel thought. It wasn't a logical progression. What can I do this week to help support the police? I just showed up in my mind.
Doug Lang thought it all up on Friday, printing 2,500 and started distributing them for free. Plans are underway to do more and get them in the hands of cops, the same men and women who in Fort Worth are being forced to ride 2 to a unit for their own protection.
And hopefully when they get back and read it, it has more impact on them.
It's not just cards. The Moore Law Firm in Arlington has handed out about 2,500 blue light bulbs to show solidarity. We threw out a Twitter question about the lights, and responses were quick, users showing us their own photos of blue bulbs to back the blue. Yes, sometimes it's the simplest of gestures or ideas that can help a public rally around those sworn to protect it. Todd Unger, Channel 8 News.
This time of year, there's no shortage of hot job stories, but this next one, it's a little different.
Channel 8's Mike Castellucci spent the day in 145-degree heat indoors.
It's a little toasty in here.
It's almost unbearable.
Yeah, right now it's only 99. It's actually only 99. It doesn't get hot until we hit 145.
Working in the hot shop.
Exactly.
We start with a molten substance that's just literally liquid glass.
2,100 degrees.
Starting here.
It is incredibly hot.
And ending with a piece like this.
This is what we call a rondelle. It's a big glass platter.
You wouldn't believe what happens in the middle.
Okay, go ahead and blow. Sweet. Okay, stop. Okay, let's heat up that neck one more time.
It's like an operating room.
It is an amazing amount of teamwork. Okay. I'm gonna touch that up one more time. No glass color can do this type of work without a good solid crew. It's people like this.
In downtown Grapevine, on a scorching Texas summer day, glass artists Dave Gappa, Spencer Crouch, and Eric Bernardi would go outside for a breath of cooler, fresh air.
No, you don't understand. This maintains our girlish figure.
It's exhausting and worn out, and sometimes you don't feel that quite till the next day, because you're like, you're so just done with physically and mentally.
These guys know exactly what to do, where to be, and how to make this magic happen. All right, give me just a little bit of air, Spencer.
Like 3 musicians making music. It's just not rock. It's glass.
I think we're good. All right, let's open this baby up.
They don't think about the heat or the pressure they find themselves in when creating a glass work of art. There's no time for that.
It's exciting. A lot of times it's very exciting right afterwards, too, because you're like, man, success, we made it.
It comes down to this. It may have taken 45 minutes, but
beautiful.
Really, it took 10 years together to create it. In Grapevine, Mike Castellucci.
Nice job, gentlemen. Sweet.
Channel 8 News. Everything looks beautiful, but man, it's already hot enough. I mean,
have you done that?
It's a neat. I haven't, but
Captain
Awesome did it, and he made himself a little glass that he still uses for his beverage of choice.
Captain Awesome's her husband. We can all. Oh, I don't know, Captain Awesome.
He's not a captain, but he is.
He's a captain, but he's awesome. I got it. Okay, let me get this. I have less than 2:30 now. I've got to move along here. So I want to talk about the heat. So our temperature trend over the next several days. So we will make it into 100 degrees tomorrow. So we hit 97 today, 100 tomorrow, 101 on Friday. These are forecast highs. High temperature Saturday, 100, and then Sunday we'll cool a very cool 99 degrees. So hot through the upcoming weekend. But why is it so hot? Big ridge of high pressure. That big ridge is in control of our weather here across not only North Texas, but across the Central Plains and, of course, the Southern Plains. This ridge will strengthen. That's the reason temperatures will finally make it into the triple-digit range. For example, into the day tomorrow, we will hit 100. The core of the heat, it's up around Wichita. Wichita tomorrow will have a high temperature of 104. The high temperature Friday in Wichita stays right at 104. Amarillo's on the edge of the heat. 101 there, Oklahoma City 101, Tulsa 103, Topeka 102, and Hastings, Nebraska 100. Rain? Yes, a little bit of rain. No rain now through the weekend, just hot temperatures. As far as the rain chances go, about 10 to 20% of us Monday see some rain, 10 to 20% of us Tuesday see some rain, and it's the same coverage on Wednesday. 10 to 20% of us then. Now till then, it's dry and it's just hot. It should be. It's the third week of July here across North Texas. 80, warm, muggy tonight. Tomorrow, there's the triple digits. First 100-degree temperature of the year. The next 7 days, there's the 101 on Friday, 100 on Saturday, 99 on Sunday. There's your low chance of rain Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday's high 97, Tuesday 96, Wednesday 97. Thursday, dry, 98. The heat continues Friday, 99. And it will certainly continue to feel like summer on Saturday. Saturday's high 98, even next Sunday. So we look at the next 2 weekends. Next Sunday, we're still looking at highs in the upper 90s. So hot weather is here to stay for the foreseeable future and very, very low chances of rain. Just big Southwest Airlines debacle tonight. My brother and two of his buddies, they're in town tonight, and they were supposed to fly back to St. Louis, but they're stuck here. They're stuck. They can't go anywhere.
They're not flying?
They're not flying.
Yeah.
Southwest.
I didn't care about that.
Why?
I stopped flying Southwest when the flight attendant stopped wearing hot pants.
Oh,
It seemed like a very good idea to me at the time. It really did. Hey, let's get to it. The Cowboys go to training camp in 8 days, and Brandon Carr takes the time to speak to the kids first. That story's next. Just when you think it can't get any worse for the Rangers, it gets worse for the Rangers. Shin Soo Choo and Prince Fielder on the disabled list now. Fielder's been having just a terrible year, but Choo's been good when he's healthy, but he's not healthy much. Hanser Alberto and Delino DeShields coming back from the minors to take their place. Martin Perez starts for the Rangers in Anaheim tonight. Rangers' last chance to win a game there. They're going to try something different. They're going to play from behind. Jeffrey Marte hit a home run in the first, a 4-run first inning for the Angels. They're in the 5th inning now. The Angels lead 7-3. The NFL has forced their top concussion doctor, Elliot Pellman, into retirement. Commissioner Roger Goodell saying what a great job he did, but wants him out anyway. It's a political week, so we get that. Pellman tried to discredit the findings about concussion problems in the NFL from doctors who know, and he's a rheumatologist. They're going to find somebody better now. And since we're talking about concussions, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is dealing with one now, so Jeff Gordon's coming out of retirement to replace him for the next couple of races. NASCAR's at Indy this week. Gordon's won there 5 times. Cowboys camp starts in 8 days, but cornerback Brandon Carr with former defensive tackle Russell Maryland still have time to help the kids. Here's Joe Trahan.
Kids from all over North Texas treated to a day at Jerry World. Booyah! It's the Cotton Bowl's annual youth clinic.
This is probably the best experience that I would think that they would have in their young lives.
And not a lot of people get a chance to do this.
Former Cowboy Russell Maryland and current Cowboys cornerback Brandon Carr providing inspiration and encouragement.
Just know that you set yourself up for the opportunity when it comes. Take advantage of it.
Carr's in the 5th and final year of a $50 million contract. He decided to take a more than $3 million pay cut to stay in Dallas this season, in part, he says, because of events like this.
Just the community, the youth that, I try to inspire on a daily basis, create the foundation and all those things to try to provide resources.
It speaks volumes about Carr's character that he would be here on this day, because it won't be long now, only about a week, and the Cowboys will head to Oxnard to begin training camp and the grind. Carr's determined to help improve a Cowboys defense that went from forcing 31 turnovers in 2014 to a league worst 11 a season ago. Carr hasn't intercepted a pass since Thanksgiving 2013.
I'm excited that it's almost here. I'm also anxious. I'm just ready.
Hit and dropped at the 30. Defensive improvement will be even tougher for the Cowboys, though, with 3 key defenders all facing substance abuse-related suspensions to start the upcoming season.
Disappointed that we're going to be missing some guys in some key roles. It's up to us to come out there, keep everybody on the same page, play at a high level of football, not make excuses for ourselves.
No excuses. Now there's a thought. Joe Trahan, Channel 8 Sports, Arlington.
Carr does need to make some more plays on the football field, but he is one of the absolute best Cowboys in the community they might have ever had.
I agree. He's always doing something
all the time.
For the kids.
All the time.
We'll be right back.
Here's a shot of a Union Tower downtown. It's spelling out in lights Ajabu, the name of the Dallas Zoo's brand new elephant. Baby boy elephant born about 2 months ago. Now he finally has a name.
And I'd like to thank Mary Kay and Tootsie's Dallas for an incredible evening tonight in support of victims of domestic violence. Alexa Conomos, Charlotte Huffman, and myself were part of a fashion show fundraiser for Mary Kay Foundation's Suits for Shelters. There were a lot of guests there tonight. The purpose of the program is to collect gently used suits and accessories for domestic violence shelters like the Genesis Women's Shelter, the Family Place, and Hope's Doors. Our thanks to radio co-host Kelly Raspberry, who helped us raise funds tonight as well, John.
All right, finally tonight, a glimpse inside the glamorous world of TV news. Photographer Josh Stevens shared this picture on Facebook. That's Jason Whiteley working at the Republican National Convention, a story you saw earlier. You'll notice, on the toilet, lid down, of course. Space is limited at the arena. You work where you have to, and of course, if you know what it's like to be a TV reporter, you always wanted to know that, well, there you go.
And I bet he has not had a proper meal either.
Good night.